mythical creatures caught on camera in Asia, bizarre fish unlike anything most people have ever seen, and mysterious objects floating in the darkness. Today, we're taking a look at some of the weirdest things caught on camera no one can explain. The Goat Killer. This video was reportedly recorded at a farm in Vietnam. It was nighttime, and a group of men had gathered around a goat. At first, the animal itself did not seem particularly unusual. But as the men moved closer, it quickly became clear that they were not there because of the goat itself. Something else had caught their attention. What immediately stood out was the large black shape attached to the animal's body. From a distance, it was difficult to tell exactly what they were looking at. The creature appeared almost completely black, with a strange shape that made it resemble some kind of oversized bat. But whatever it was, the men clearly did not want to get too close. Seeing this, they tried to help the goat and remove whatever was attached to it.
Anto air ya?
Anto air nih.
Lepasin. Ini karena dekat semua ini, semuanya di bawah situ.
Keluarin di sini kambingnya, jangan yang lepas ini.
Tuh, digigit ya.
Udah. Rambutnya ini yang lengket ini.
Lepasin itu. Ini udah digigit tuh.
Yang lili. Jangan pakai tangan, itu kau apa nih? Jangan pakai tangan lagi nih.
Oh, udah mau mati ya. Sosok itu. Buang kayunya lepasin. Awas gigitnya, hati-hati. Awas.
For several moments, nothing seemed to work. The dark shape remained firmly attached to the goat while the men repeatedly pushed at it with the sticks. Eventually, they managed to force it away. But instead of remaining where it had fallen, the black figure quickly began moving across the ground.
Mana tadi? Ambil kayu, gebukin pakai kayu aja. Tuh.
Lari.
Mana? Oh, ini. Nih. Kejar nih.
Sungai, apa nih?
Ayo, lewat mana? Lewat sini. Ada. Awas, naik ke batu, bahaya. Bahaya nih. Ada lubangnya itu.
This was when the video became even more difficult to explain. Whatever had been attached to the goat appeared to crawl or drag itself across the farm, while the men followed closely behind, still armed with sticks. Its movements were unusual, and the poor lighting made it almost impossible to identify its body clearly. The group eventually followed it toward a nearby river. There, several of the men attempted to strike it while it moved through the water. Despite surrounding it, they were unable to capture it. The dark figure eventually moved toward a large rock near the water and appeared to disappear beneath or behind it. Some viewers might argue that the creature was simply an unusually large bat or another animal that had somehow become attached to the goat. There is also the possibility that the entire encounter was staged and that the men already knew exactly what they were dealing with. But the video never provides a clear enough look to confirm any of those explanations. Whatever was attached to that goat eventually escaped into the darkness. And unless more information about the recording appears, there is no way to know exactly what those men encountered that night. The butterfly from a parallel universe. At first, this video seems completely ordinary. A butterfly can be seen resting on the surface of a mirror, but there is something strange about it.
Gente, olha só. Uma borboleta do outro lado do espelho. Será que a gente vive numa simulação mesmo? Olha só.
The butterfly only appears in the reflection. As the camera moves away from the mirror and shows the actual room, there is nothing there. No butterfly can be seen on the walls, the floor, or the ceiling. The camera continues moving and changing angles, yet the insect remains visible only in the mirror. Some viewers believe the video could simply be an editing trick or some kind of visual effect. Others have suggested far stranger possibilities, including the idea that the mirror is somehow showing a different version of the same space, or even two realities overlapping for a brief moment. Of course, there is no way to prove any of those theories from the video alone. But whether it was carefully created or something genuinely unusual happened in front of that mirror, the recording leaves behind one disturbing question. How can something appear in a reflection if it was never there in the first place? Something demonic was floating through the night. This video was reportedly recorded somewhere in India. It was filmed at night in what appears to be a quiet outdoor area surrounded by trees and brush. Take a look.
Hey, sini. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
At first, all that can be seen is a glowing ball of fire floating in the darkness. But the strangest part is that it does not seem to be just a flame. As the camera focuses on it, the object appears to be carrying something beneath it. It looks almost like a head hanging below the fire. Rather than behaving like an ordinary flame, the strange object moves around the area, rising and falling repeatedly and drifting from side to side. Some viewers believe it could simply be some kind of balloon, but the unusual way it moves makes that explanation difficult to believe. Others think it looks far more disturbing than that, like some kind of floating entity moving through the night with a severed head hanging beneath it. But whatever was glowing in that dark area, it did not look like a normal fire, and the shape hanging beneath it only made the sight even more disturbing.
Hey, sini. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
This lizard did something impossible. This video was reportedly recorded by a tourist who had been photographing nature and wildlife. At one point, he noticed a lizard nearby and decided to film it. Take a look. For a brief moment, the lizard appears to release a burst of fire from its mouth. The scene is so strange that it immediately raises the obvious question: how could an ordinary lizard possibly do that? Some viewers believe the footage was manipulated or created using visual effects. Others think the video may show exactly what the tourist recorded. There is also the possibility that it was generated or altered with artificial intelligence. But from the footage alone, there is no way to know for certain what really happened. The Giant on the Hill. This strange video was reportedly recorded somewhere in Brazil. In the distance, a massive human-like figure can be seen standing on top of a hill. Its size appears completely out of proportion with the surrounding trees. The poor quality of the footage makes it impossible to know what was really there. A person, an illusion, or something much larger? The Thing in the Tree. One night, a young man looked out the window of his home and noticed something unusual sitting in a tree in his garden. At first, he could not tell exactly what he was looking at, but the longer he watched, the stranger it seemed. Take a look.
Yo sé que no me estoy volviendo loco, yo sé que no. ¿Estás viendo esto que estoy viendo? Figura humanoide, cuerpo, cabeza, brazo. Y yo no sé si usted nota, pero está viendo hacia los lados, está como reconociendo. Yo voy a bajar, no, yo voy a. Yo necesito bajar a ver esto. ¿Cómo hago?
Among the branches, a small humanoid-looking figure can be seen sitting completely still. The man immediately notices what appears to be a head, a body, and even arms. What makes the scene even more unsettling is that the figure does not move or make any sound. It simply remains there, facing in his direction. Eventually, the man decides to go outside and get a closer look. But by the time he reaches the garden, the figure is gone.
Mío. Siento como que se me va a venir, pero para ver si desde aquí se ve igual. Ya no está. Ya no está. Ya no está.
He searches the tree and the surrounding area, but whatever had been sitting there has completely disappeared. Some viewers believe it may have been an unusual bird, possibly an owl-like species, while others suggested a bat. But others saw something much stranger, describing the figure as a goblin or even a supernatural creature known as a narwhal. Whatever it was, the video never gives us a clear enough look to know for certain. And when the man finally went outside to investigate, there was nothing left in the tree. A nightmare in Venezuela. This strange video was reportedly recorded somewhere in Venezuela. In the middle of the night, someone noticed a strange figure moving through a yard.
Espanto en Venezuela.
A dark figure can be seen moving strangely across a yard. Its unusual movements make it difficult to tell exactly what we're looking at. A person, something paranormal, or something else entirely? The Lake Monster. This disturbing video was reportedly captured by a security camera somewhere in rural Southeast Asia. It was nighttime and a woman was washing dishes near the edge of a lake. But she was not alone. A dark figure can be seen near the water, moving slowly behind the woman. But what makes it especially disturbing are its arms. They appear unnaturally long, stretching toward the edge of the lake as the figure seems to move back towards the water. The woman never appears to notice it. Because of its strange shape, Some viewers compared the figure to old Asian legends about water spirits, creatures said to remain near rivers and lakes waiting for people to get too close. Like the kappa, a well-known creature from Japanese folklore associated with bodies of water. But legends aside, the footage still leaves one obvious question. A person distorted by the camera, a staged scene, or something far stranger hiding beside the lake? The Witch in Nicaragua. This video was reportedly shared by a young man from Nicaragua. According to him, his brother said that a strange woman lived in the house next door and sometimes behaved in unusual ways. But one day, her behavior became even more disturbing. So they decided to record her, and this is what they captured. The image is not very clear, but a hunched elderly figure can be seen inside the house. What immediately stands out is the strange way she appears to be speaking. According to the person who shared the video, the most disturbing part was that she seemed to be reciting some kind of prayer in a language he had never heard before.
What the fuck? ¿Qué es eso, güey? No sé, pero en español no está hablando.
It could simply be an elderly woman speaking in an unfamiliar language. But to those who recorded her, there was something far more unsettling about the encounter. An ordinary woman, or the witch they believed lived inside that house? The creepiest fish ever caught. Imagine swimming at the beach and suddenly seeing what looks like a tiny hand in the water. You get closer and then you see this. A man can be seen holding a very strange-looking fish. Its appearance is bizarre, and one of its fins looks almost like a small human hand. It looks more like a creature from a horror movie than an ordinary fish. Pretty disturbing, isn't it? The body in the road. This video was recorded by someone returning from a trip late at night. While driving along a dark and empty road, they came across something that left them in shock. Take a look.
Não faz tempo, não? Eu acho que é mais lá na frente, que estão duas entradas. Tem ela. Eita porra. Caraca.
Arrei pro outro lado, velho.
Foi pro outro lado, deu outro carro.
Você mudou de lado.
Tá meio, né? Será?
Você levantou e mudou de lado.
Meu Deus.
Deu pra tu gravar aí?
Deu.
A strange figure can be seen lying in the middle of the road. The driver notices it at the last second and nearly runs over it. But what was it doing there so late at night on a deserted road far from any nearby houses? Some believe it may have been a person. Others think it could have been some kind of object that had fallen from another vehicle. But some viewers believe the figure looked more like a ghost or some kind of supernatural apparition. So what do you think was lying in the middle of that road? The haunted pool. This video was reportedly captured by a security camera at a young woman's home. One night, she decided to go for a swim in her pool. Everything seemed normal at first, but at some point, she began to feel as if she was not alone. a brief moment, a dark human-like silhouette appears inside the pool. It almost looks like another person is there with her. But according to the woman, she had been completely alone that night. Even stranger, the figure seems to appear suddenly from the darker part of the pool, with no clear indication of where it came from. A stage video, a strange reflection, or something else that was in the water with her that night?